Why is cybersecurity really needed in today's time?
Lots of websites or companies are getting hacked.
Yeah.
If we take some of the recent examples, we have seen that our hospital, which is AIMS, a very prestigious hospital,
Yeah.
but that was also hacked. As well as we have seen in the recent times that the Aadhaar data was also breached.
Yeah.
And millions of Indian citizens' data is leaked out there in the dark web. Yeah, so have a mindset to protect, not attack.
Attack. Yeah.
Maybe in the background our data has been compromised and we still don't know.
Exactly.
So that's the major concern, and that's why we need cybersecurity.
How prepared are most companies for a cyber attack, or are they often caught off guard?
They feel they are prepared, but in reality they are not.
Yeah.
Even though they have put all the cybersecurity solutions, but if they keep a small thing vulnerable, they are going to be easily hacked.
Welcome to another episode of Fox Talks. Today we are going to discuss something that is not much technical, and we are not going to give you a lot of slides or content. So it's going to be a normal podcast that's really based on how common people have questions about cybersecurity. So it's going to be a fun one. But before we get into it, let me just give you a brief introduction to Redfox Security. So at Redfox Security, we provide end-to-end client penetration tests ranging in fields like Active Directory, web applications, and mobile applications. If you want to know more about all of this, you can go to our website, that is https://redfoxsec.com. Apart from this, we have a lot of courses that are being launched on our website, that is academy.redfoxsec.com. And if you are not in for those courses, we also have a lot of free content that has been provided to you, and that is solely available on YouTube as well. So before we jump into the podcast now, let me just give you a brief introduction to me. So I'm Tarak Sakardande. I work as a security consultant at Redfox Security, and with me I have Sashikant Prasad. So Sashikant, can you just introduce yourself to the audience and maybe give them the brief of the podcast that we are going to talk about?
Yeah. So hi guys, my name is Shashi and I am a senior security consultant at Redfox Security. So in this podcast, we are going to be clearing out some of the misconceptions that people have about this wonderful field, which is cybersecurity. So I hope by the end of the podcast, we will be able to clear out some of the misconceptions or the questions that maybe someone who is fresher or coming out to this field, or maybe someone who just curious about cybersecurity field, they have. We will be able to clear some of those
Surely,
questions.
sure. It's going to be a fun one. Because again, I said at the start of the podcast, it's not going to be a technical one. So it's more of the common questions faced by common people again. So first things first, why is cybersecurity really needed in today's time?
So I believe why this cybersecurity field is needed, because if we see in the past that lots of websites or companies are getting hacked.
Yeah.
If we take some of the recent examples, we have seen that our hospital, which is AIMS, a very prestigious hospital,
Yeah.
but that was also hacked by some folks that people are assuming they are in China. So that's assumed, but not sure who has hacked that.
Okay.
So they have the data of all the patients of the AIMS hospital. As well as we have seen in the recent times that the Aadhaar data was also breached.
Yeah.
And millions of Indian citizens' data is leaked out there in the dark web.
Yeah.
So yeah, because of these reasons, I believe companies should secure their network so that they will be in a position where they can secure their websites, secure their company, so that they don't have to face the, what do I say, the defacement of their websites, or maybe they have some reputation, so the reputation also get damaged.
Obviously, yeah.
So that's why companies should focus on cybersecurity, and they should hire pen testers. They don't think like cybersecurity is like a burden on them.
Yeah.
So because I believe some of the companies think that, hey, I have to now allocate some budget for the cybersecurity, though they think that their website is secure. Well, that they are not. That's why we come into picture.
Yep.
And we basically safeguard them.
Okay. Another good example that I really had in the recent time, you just talked about breaches, right? So there was this case where it was a Domino's breach and a lot of data of people was really leaked. And me and my friends back in time, we also accessed that website and we were able to actually know that some of our folks' information was out there. Again,
So we don't even know some of the companies that are getting hacked, they are not coming out to the public.
Yeah.
Maybe in the background, our data has been compromised and we still don't know.
Exactly.
So that's the major concern. And that's why we need cybersecurity, and cybersecurity professionals like us and other folks that are amazing in their expertise come into this place, the cybersecurity, and then keep them secure.
Okay. That's really a great one from you, Shashi. And moving on to the next question, like, what are the common misconceptions about cybersecurity, and why is that?
Okay, so the major concern that I believe that people have, or people that I feel like that people come into this in this field to hack. But I would say instead they should change their mindset and come here to protect the companies, to safeguard them. If they have this mindset, they will be, this career will help them to thrive in their journey.
Exactly.
So so have a mindset to protect, not attack. Because we are going to attack them, but in the end we have to protect them. So the client also want us the same thing from us. So after we are compromising their environment or their websites, they want us to give proper guidelines. So how they can protect their environment. That's what they are more concerned about. They are not concerned about the attack, but how they can protect themselves for the future attacks.
Okay, so it's like, as a security consultant, you are supposed to be a red teamer. So you are assuming the role of an attacker, and then you are trying to get all of those exploitation attacks, and then inform the client that, hey, this is how your infrastructure can be accessed or damaged. Okay, all right, that's great. Again. So moving on to the next question, how secure are these newer security technologies as to the older methods?
I believe they have improved because if you in the past we see that there are lots of vulnerabilities that are new in the market and there are no protection against them. If we take a look at an example, popular vulnerability which is SQL injection. So when this SQL injection was introduced, I believe in 2004-5 at that time. Maybe in the underground it was before 2000s as well. But so when this SQL injection was introduced, the websites are getting hacked left and right and there.
Exactly.
Right? So but now since the technology has evolved, there are protections against the SQL injection attacks. And what I am seeing that developers are taking care of the new technology. Basically, they are taking care of the SQL injection by implementing new technologies or new coding practices. Like I think right now the developers are using parameterized queries, and many of the new technology frameworks are providing this safeguard by default.
Okay.
Apart from this, if we take a look at other injection attacks, the framework itself is now sanitizing the inputs.
Exactly.
So that whatever malicious input that attacker or the hacker is trying to input in their websites or in their websites, the application will take care of the sanitation. So it will, the new technologies have taken most of the burden from the developers, and now it's implementing them inside them. But still, what if this new technology has some vulnerability?
Exactly.
If developers are relying on that, and that new technology itself has some vulnerabilities, then there is again a chance of compromise. Even I have seen that if we take I take a look example of Angular, which is a framework for developing front-end websites. So it has some proper sanitation libraries, the code that it is using to protect against the against these malicious inputs. But while pen testing the websites, I still see excesses there. Maybe they are using some older component or older HTML, basic HTML JavaScript code in their Angular websites. Even though the majority of the website is built with Angular, but some of the component, if they are relying on normal HTML JavaScript and CSS, we can target those components and we can easily compromise them. So I would say that technologies are good, and whenever you're implementing a new technology, read about it. Check out the past of that technology. How well it is built. Who are the providers behind it? If let's suppose if we are using a third-party library, which is supposed to secure their website, but if you don't know the source of that library, then we don't know how secure is that library and what is trying to do without data. So be very careful when you are implementing a newer technology in your stack. So technologies are good, but you have to be very careful when deciding that.
Because I would really like to second your point as well, because even when I test web applications, a lot of times I do see number of outdated JavaScript libraries being used, and that really brings your point that you can get a stored XSS or exploit the cross-site shifting vulnerability. Another tip that I would really like to give the audience is that you can also check for CVs or existing CVs for those libraries or something like that, so that you know what kind of vulnerabilities can you exploit, because the web application is actually implementing a outdated JavaScript library. Again, great.
Just one more example I would like to give that. Let's suppose the example of the network pen testing that we do a lot here at Redfox.
We love it.
We love it. So let's suppose that Active Directory, there is an Active Directory environment, and Active Directory has released some patch. Now it's the responsibility of the network admin to basically download that patch and update it their systems. So they have to be looking at the newer patches that Microsoft is releasing. Another thing about the Active Directory environment is that even if they are implementing the new technologies, if they are still relying for some of their operation for the previous technologies, we can still hack the previous technology, and from that we can compromise the new technology as well. So again, if we take a look at the Active Directory again, if we take a look at the two popular protocols, even though Kerberos protocol is still is the newer protocol, but we still see an NTLM being implemented.
A lot of things.
So even though Kerberos is kind of secure, but most of the hacks are getting through NTLM attacks. So that's why. So if you are relying on a new technology, do a proper research. Don't just blindly implement any technology. And if you have any old technologies, so just stay away from that. Remove it gradually, so that your environment will be updated and it will be up to the standards, as well as the newer version of the technology, whatever they are trying to implement.
Lovely explanation there. I mean, we really covered web apps and Active Directory as well in that. So moving on to the next question. So what are the most common problems that are being faced by cyber security professionals today?
I believe that they need proper direction, because I am interviewing a lot of folks at Redfox, right? So what I am seeing that whenever I am interviewing someone, the basics are not right. Okay. So they know how to perform this attack. They know the commands. Okay. But they don't know how in the background, how it's basically how it is working, the attack is working. They don't really know that. So they are just blindly running the commands here and there. So let's suppose if we are on a client engagement, okay, they don't just can run any commands. You have to do a proper research and know what the command is doing, because it's not your lab or any CTF challenge. You are working with the client environment. That's what the folk coming to the cybersecurity field need to know. That they are working for the client. They are not working here for the fun part. There is fun part in doing that, but if you are just thinking that, hey, I am going to hack some things by running anything, it's not the proper approach, that I would say, because you are going to break client stuff. And you are going to get easily fired, because if you are making the same mistakes and they're thinking that, hey, whatever I am running without telling the client, again, it's very dangerous. It can maybe one of the query can delete all the database information. Because what I am seeing while I am conducting an interview, they are just we have our interview challenge. So what I am seeing that they are just googling things, taking the command and just trying to put the command for the application that we are giving them, and they are hoping that it will work. Instead of they are not applying any logic behind it.
Exactly.
So that's what I feel, that they need to get the basics right.
Yep,
If
exactly.
the basics are at the right place, I think they are going to grow a lot in this field. Plus, they have to change their mentality, as we in the initial we talked about, right, that we are here for the protection,
Okay.
not for the attacking part.
Okay, great. That's a great. Again, I would like to ask a question. So I see a lot of folks in the cybersecurity field. They are more of, they do a lot of CTF. They also do a lot of vulnerable labs. And can you like help these, because again, because of this, it's not wrong. I wouldn't say it's really wrong.
Yeah.
It's a good way to start off. But can you like draw a fine line between the actual pen testing that we do? As you said, you have to work with the client, and the vulnerable part, so that you can actually give advice to the younger audience as well, or those who are just starting off.
Yeah, again, see, let's suppose you are doing a CTF challenge, or you are doing a lab. So instead, I would say whatever vulnerability you're seeing there, do a proper research. Okay, don't just go to the solutions on the internet.
Yeah.
Because you're learning it for yourself. You're not. So one mentality that I feel is wrong is that people are trying to just. Are here to create like I have done these many labs, I have solved these many challenges, CTFs,
Yeah.
I have done these many bug bounties, but how they are doing it, that is very important.
Yeah.
If they know the art,
Yeah.
then that's the approach that is the best thing.
Yeah.
But if they don't know, if they are just taking help from someone,
Yes.
or if they are just taking help from the internet and taking the solution and then just because a lot of these labs and CTF challenges provide the solutions as well.
Yes. Yes.
So if you're just depending on the solution and you are here to just showcase that, hey, I have solved these many labs,
Yeah.
I think that's a very bad for, they are basically doing bad for themselves.
Yep.
Because in future, when they're dealing with the clients, client is not going to see how many CTF challenges you have solved.
That's true. That's true.
Right? Client is going to see how many pen tests have you conducted successfully.
Yeah.
They are going to look at they are going to take a look at the past record of the company.
Exactly.
And if they see that, if let's suppose, if they see that we have not performed a good pen test, or maybe we have just broken their stuff, then they are not going to come to us later. That's what we don't want.
Exactly.
We want pen testers who are accountable. I'm not serious here. Like accountable, I mean that they should be knowing what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
So they should be sticking to the basics.
Yep. So as rightly said, as a security consultant, you need to know how you are going to work with the client, and again, you have to defend their network, and you just can't run any scripts haphazardly. And again, talking about the clients, if you are working with Redfox Security, you are up for a surprise, always. So moving on to the next question. Is cybersecurity a evolving field, or the core principles are mostly static? Because there is a lot of buzz like, hey, cybersecurity, it's a growing field, it's a growing field. So like,
yeah, I believe it's a growing field. That's why we are here.
Yeah, obviously.
We believe that it's a growing field, and why it's a growing field? Because if we see that in the past, in the past we see that companies are getting hacked left and right, right?
Yeah.
So, but nowadays it's more than that, right? If we took in the recent times, since people who are doing their business offline, they are also coming online.
Yes.
Right? So that's why I would say that. What is the question again?
It's like, why cybersecurity? Again, why is it a buzz?
Oh yeah, why is it a buzz? Okay. Why is it a buzz? Because of the, I would say the main reason I see is that of the bug bounties.
Yeah.
That people are seeing the success side and they think, hey, they can also make money in this field.
That is also one thing, bug bounties. Yeah.
But again, bug bounties are good, but I think they don't teach you the real pen testing methodology.
Yeah.
Because client need to protect the environment, so we are always on the protection side. Bug hunters are on the attacking side, so they want to hack stuff.
Okay, exactly. So I would actually like to give you a small story that I had back in my college days. So also I was in the computer science field. So usually I was attracted to cybersecurity because it introduced more of the hacking part.
Yeah.
So it created a lot of interest around people. So hey, cybersecurity related to hacking, but it's not actually. It's a misconception. So when it comes to cybersecurity, and I today work as a security consultant at Redfox Security, there's a much difference. So you are more of how you are going to secure the network again. So I think that is one of those things, because see, when we are technical people, right? We know about this field, but when common people are talking about, hey, so whenever I like take a walk or my friends like, hey, what work do you do? And I'm like, hey, I am in cybersecurity. They're like, whoa, he's in cybersecurity, hacker, something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the hacking part that has brought it much more.
And I believe someone has asked you about, can you hack one of my friend's social account?
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people see that. Can you hack my friend's social media account? Another common question that a lot of cybersecurity professionals will be facing.
Yeah, that's why we have to be ethical in this industry. We know that we can break a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why the ethical hacking word come into picture.
Exactly.
We are ethical.
Yeah, totally. So moving on to the next question, do cybersecurity certifications guarantee job readiness or real world environments?
Not really. Certifications are great if they have good content backing it.
Yep.
Right? Because when I do interviews, I see a lot of certifications on their profile. But as I again told you,
Yep.
our interview is like we give them a challenge, a real world challenge, and then we will ask them to solve it. It's a practical challenge, not a theoretical challenge. So even I see that there are a lot of certification on their profile.
Yeah.
They are not able to solve anything. Not anything, like they don't know the how to approach it.
Yeah.
Though I will also say that even if they have some experience,
Yeah.
I have seen them struggling on our challenges. Though our challenges are not that hard,
Yeah.
if they know the core principles of cybersecurity or like the attacks, if they are applying for a web application, they should know how SQL injection or cross-site scripting works, what is IDOR, and not only the theory, but again how
is it working?
how it works.
Exactly.
So I think Tarak, you have a funny story that in one of our interviews that that LFI vulnerability that you asked someone.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened in that was that I was interviewing a person. So he had certificates as well as he had 3 years of work experience in the cybersecurity field. So we were taking the interview challenge. I was taking the interview challenge, and I just there was basically a spoiler. So there was a vulnerability that was related to directed traversal. We are going to change it now because I have told it in the podcast. So if anyone's going to the next interview, you are not going to find directed traversal. Anyways, so what happened is that I gave him some. He was not able to figure out the challenge. So I told him, hey, you do some research and get it done, and you let us know. So I gave him about 5-10 minutes. It was just ongoing, okay? And then what happened is that after some 10 or 15 minutes of time, I asked him, hey, you read about directed traversal, right? So what is it actually about? Can you tell me? So the guy goes like ... I again asked him, what is the vulnerability about? He said ... again. So these are certain misconceptions. Again, I don't want to mock anyone. It's completely fine. But as Shashi said rightly in the start of the podcast, you should know your basics and you should know what commands you are running on a infrastructure.
Again, another thing about certification that why we see a lot of this certification on their profile, maybe because of the cheating that is happening.
Yeah.
That's why I think whenever we are hiring someone, don't just look at the certifications.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So that's what we also analyze when we are interviewing, that we look at the methodology. We are not at all interested in how many challenges you have done or how you have compromised something, but we are looking at the methodology. So by looking at the methodology, we know that this person knows what he's trying to do.
Yep.
And he's a best fit for our Redfox Security company.
Exactly.
Again, I believe that there are big firms that hire people.
Exactly.
And they tell them that they are the security person there, but they are not really giving them the correct sort of engagements. Or they are not training them.
Yeah.
Or they are just giving them work which is not comes into cybersecurity, but it's just how would I say, a side kind of project. Maybe they are hiring for cybersecurity, but they are putting them on SOC.
Okay.
Though when they are
Resume.
when they are putting out a resume, they say that, hey, I need someone who can who has some information on web applications, who has some knowledge on network pen testing. But after hiring, they are putting themselves on the maybe SOC role.
Yeah, that's like that's like putting a VAPT guy into SOC.
Yeah, so they on their resume it says cybersecurity consultant, but we don't know on which technologies they have worked.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the another thing.
Yeah.
About.
Yeah. Great. That's great, really. So moving on to the next question. Are cybersecurity solutions affordable for small business, or is it mainly for large enterprises?
See, cybersecurity solutions are costly. So that's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But let's say there is a small firm, they can also secure themselves.
Yeah.
So instead of, let's suppose they have, they don't have the budget for conducting a full external, internal, maybe their websites, they don't have the budget to perform all kinds of penetration tests.
Yeah.
So what they can do, they can opt for breach simulations.
Okay.
Where we are simulating an attacker that is already inside the network, that already breached their applications and they are on their network. And we can just tell, hey, these are the things that you can secure in the internal network, so that even if an attacker comes from outside and they gain access to a computer, they can't really do anything from that computer.
Yeah.
Right? So if they are short on budget, at least they can go out for these breach simulations.
Yep. Exactly.
So they should focus on the core part or the core part of their company that needs to be secure.
Yep.
So again,
I really like
depends on the budget.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that even if it's a small company or a large company, at Redfox Security, we really like the thought that you are thinking about securing your environment, and that is something that we really bank on, because a lot of things are being digitalized. You must be aware of whatever things are happening, and that is why I feel the thought that you are considering getting network pen test or your infrastructure tested is something that is really credible.
That's a great start to have.
Exactly. So moving on to the next question, how effective is cybersecurity training for employees in corporates?
That's the area that I feel that the training can really help them to cover the basics. So let's suppose there is a company, and if they can just tell their security, like say they have security guard, they can just tell them, don't let anyone enter their company premises. Do a proper screening before letting them enter their premises.
Exactly.
So these kind of trainings does help.
Yep.
Or let me take another example. We can train employees that don't save your passwords on your computer. Again. That's another thing. If we can just make aware them about these small things.
Yeah.
So that's how they can start off with the securing their basic stuff.
True.
Right. So that's why I think cybersecurity education is must for every company.
Exactly.
Because if they are not training their folks, then they are going to put some passwords.
Yep.
Right. I have seen even domain admins putting their password on computers in clear text.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to educate, or the company needs to educate. They should have a cybersecurity program that will prepare their employees about the cybersecurity attacks. Like if we take example of phishing attacks, they should not, any employee should not click on the link that is unwanted or that they are in doubt.
Exactly. Can you give can you explain the term phishing to the common people as well? So maybe there are a lot of people who get a lot of links. So.
So again, phishing is about, we are basically sending them links. Basically, we are emailing them, and we are telling them, hey, this is going to be a great deal. Basically, we are luring them.
Yeah.
And once they are getting lured, basically they are clicking the link.
Yeah.
And behind that link, there will be some malicious software program that might get installed on their systems.
Yes.
So that's how phishing attacks work. Basically, we are fooling themselves by giving them something really, we're telling them something important, or maybe we are telling them you're going to win up some prize.
Yeah.
And when they blindly just click there, they are going to be easily hacked.
Okay. That's like saying you just won iPhone 15 Pro Max and please click on the link to avail your reward.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know that probably there's some damage to your...
Or maybe you are son of some Nigerian prince. That email we all have got.
Yeah. Obviously. That's a good one actually. For the memers as well. So moving on to the next one. What role does AI play in cybersecurity and does it meet the expectations?
Okay. So when I look at AI, I would say it is still not developed to protect the apps properly.
Yeah.
AI can help. Again, what is AI? AI is looking on the patterns of the malicious inputs or the malicious scenarios. But again, right now it's AI versus humans. And the AI is not at the stage that it is going to defeat humans in terms of cybersecurity.
Terminator salvation or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get the joke, but I will ask you later.
It's a movie. It's basically a movie which is based on AI versus robots versus humans.
okay.
Again, moving on to the main topic.
Yeah, again, the AI is looking at the patterns, but humans they are not predictable. So it's right now it's AI versus humans, and right now humans are winning it. But I am thinking that in future, the humans are going to build an AI that is going to be, attacking the AI that is protecting it. It will be AI versus AI.
Yeah.
Who knows? But currently, what I feel that AI is not that advanced, which can protect against attackers like us or pen tester like us.
All right, great. Okay,
Yeah,
that's great. And make sure you watch Terminator Salvation to actually get my joke.
Yeah.
Never mind. Let's move on to the next question. So that is, how prepared are most companies for a cyber attack, or are they often caught off guard?
They feel they are prepared, but in reality they are not.
Yeah.
Even though they have put all the cybersecurity solutions, but if they keep a small thing vulnerable, they are going to be easily hacked.
Can you give a small example as well?
Yeah, again, a small example I can give that, let's suppose there is a web application and they have put all of their cybersecurity related solutions on this web application. But this web application has some vulnerability that they are not taking care of. Maybe it's a small vulnerability, but this vulnerability can be escalating, and through that vulnerability, we can bypass all these high-end technologies.
Yeah.
Or if we take a look at example of the network pen testing, though they have implemented, again, same example that Kerberos versus NTLM.
Yes.
Though they have implemented this newer, I think Microsoft by default gave Kerberos, but maybe they have some products which is legacy.
Yes.
And that uses NTLM protocols.
Okay.
So we can basically we look for the low-hanging fruits.
Yes.
Okay, so they have to protect their environment as a whole.
Yeah.
If they have web application, then they have to protect the application. If they have using some network, they have to protect their network.
Okay.
If they are using some mobile application, they have to protect their mobile. Basically, they have to protect everything to get secure, because what we do when we compromise a small thing, from that we can escalate and compromise bigger things or the things that are really critical for the company. So just a small hole can can let your company get compromised.
Yeah.
So protect every single door, I would say.
Yes, that is where cybersecurity.
Don't let them peek.
Yeah. That is where cybersecurity awareness always comes in place. So next, a lot of these are more for the college people as well as people in generic who are just starting off with cybersecurity. So what are those typical opportunities that are available in cybersecurity for people?
So by opportunities, what do you mean? Like
job opportunities, roles.
Okay. So There are a lot of roles. So there are two sides of cybersecurity now. I think there are three, which is a red team side of thing. Then we have blue team, and then we have purple team as well nowadays.
Okay.
So if you are really interested in hacking, when I say hacking and then protecting,
Yes.
okay, then you can opt for the red team side of things, where you will learn the offensive things. If you are someone who is only thinking about protecting a company or protecting a product, then you can opt out for the blue team.
Blue team.
And if you are interested in both, the red team side of things and the blue team side of things, then you can opt for the purple.
Purple teaming. Okay.
But
that's like a mix.
yeah, never go for black. So avoid. That's why we have white. Ethical hackers are of white hat. That's why they are called.
Yep, obviously. Yes. Moving on to the next question, how does public's perception of cybersecurity compare to actual day-to-day work in the field?
I think we have addressed this question in a sense that we have talked that when people think about cybersecurity, they are again thinking about hacking stuffs. And whenever they meet us, they think we are like hackers and we are breaking things and we are doing something illegal, which we are not.
Yep.
We are protecting the companies.
But that's exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Again, the last one, the final question again is what topic should I choose in cybersecurity? Likewise, there are a lot of people, there are a lot of fields, as you said. There's network pen testing, web applications, hardware. So what is more of a, can you like give an average roadmap to the audience so that it's easier for them? So you can lay out it as well. You can also lay out your points which you faced in your cybersecurity career, and again I can go with mine as well. So please.
So I believe that start with the basics. By basics, I mean you can start off with the basics of Linux, and you can start with the basics of web applications.
Yes.
So that's the core knowledge that you need to know. And then you see that whether you are getting interested in this field, in these areas of cybersecurity. Then once you have learned these basic things, then you can maybe try out for network pen testing, in which you can look at the Active Directory side of things, where you can see the type of attacks that are performed in Active Directory and see whether that interests you. So maybe then you can go into that direction, and then in Active Directory, when you're going in Active Directory, then you have to learn EDR bypasses. You have to learn how to create malicious binaries that can bypass these the protection solutions that are implemented in Active Directory. Then I would say whenever you are going for cybersecurity, don't stick yourself to a single field. So learn the basics of each of the field. And then you try out, and then you figure out what interests you. Maybe you are playing with some hardware gadget, and maybe that will that interests you. So then you can get into that direction.
Exactly.
But again, learn about the basics of every field that is out there in cybersecurity, be it web applications, Active Directory on the network side, or the Linux hardware. So learn the basics of everything, and then go and choose a field in which you become a master.
Okay.
So that's the approach that I would say that someone who are coming in this field can take.
Another thing that a lot of people a lot of professionals in the cybersecurity field, they also have because there are a lot of fields, they have this syndrome where am I doing enough for being efficient? So what? It's called something. Imposter syndrome. Exactly. I was thinking of the term. So what tip can you actually give to all of these people, or because you are a professional again?
Yeah. So again, when you are seeing someone doing great, so don't feel like that they know everything. They might be master in that particular field. Okay. So then don't be envious of that person or think that I don't know that. You can learn it. That person also has learned it. They have started from somewhere.
Yes.
So don't feel like, because it's in this industry, as I said, there are lots of fields, and people see that someone has done something big in this field, like let's suppose hardware, someone has done very big thing in the web application side of things. Why? Because they are master in that field. But if you're just thinking that, hey, just by sitting on your desk, you think that you are going to be master.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be the case. You have to learn you have to take a proper roadmap, because that person also has done the hard work.
Yes.
So don't be afraid of the hard work, and have a proper attitude when you're coming in this field. It's fun, but it's challenging as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that
Yes,
answers the
as
question.
wise men say, practice makes a man perfect. So again, I think we answered all of these questions. It was really a fun podcast with you, Sashikant. It was really great having you here, and we discussed a lot of things, a lot of common questions, and I'm pretty much sure we answered all of this in depth. Again, taking common people as well as cybersecurity professionals, or again people who are just starting off with the cybersecurity careers. So again, it was great. So make sure if you like this podcast, also rate our new setup. It's completely amazing. We have Superman, Batman, a lot of crazy things behind us. So it's all because of your support. So make sure you like, comment, and share this video. And again, there's one news that I want you guys to know about is that we are actually selected at the Black Hat Security Conference for the training Chip of Forensics. So do make sure you can actually check it out on our website as well. So that's it for today, and we will meet again in another podcast, and we'll see you later. So enjoy and have fun.
Thank you guys. Bye.